and Michigan State every season. Two teams went a combined 20-1 in non-conference play, both 0-1 in Big Ten play. We look at the Michigan starting lineup. Their starting setter is Morgan Burke. Audrey, that's been the case in every game this season, but Michigan is running a 5-1 offense because Ellie White, their second setter in a 6-2, is injured and won't play. And for Michigan State, on the other side, this is a Spartans attack that is led by a really promising setter in Malaya Long.
Yeah, you know, this Michigan Spartan team, I'm so excited to watch them live. I cannot wait to see what their offense looks like. And everything, even their backcourt defense. I'm really impressed by their...
The program where she spent 2 seasons as an associate head coach. Now she's home to take on arch rival Michigan. Her next game will be at Northwestern with her Michigan State Spartans. Kelsey was an assistant coach in Evanston for multiple seasons as well. First point of this rivalry match belongs to the road team, the Michigan Wolverines.
You know, you mentioned it, Chris, like just thinking about Kristen Kelsey right now, I was trying to get into her head space. Kathy George is in the house. That was the former head coach and coach of Kristen Kelsey here at Michigan State. It's a rivalry match. Like, what else do you want? This is a big night for Kristen Kelsey.
The lights were out, the cell phone lights were on inside the Breslin Center a moment ago for starting lineups, and the floor raised just a little bit. That gave Michigan State's Ella Demetrician some problems, and Michigan State evens us up very early in this match. That's Michigan State libero Leah Schneider, South Florida transfer, getting us going with the serve. Michigan State runs the middle. Malaya Long almost accidentally with the up there, and the overpass is put down by Lydia Johnson on the right side for Michigan.
When you talk about the essential part of the game, it is ball control and every aspect of that. Serve, receive, and defense. That time Michigan State's defense was off, went off the shoulder, out of bounds, and unable to control that. Easy overpass kill for Michigan.
Jenna Haynes, sophomore middle blocker with the serve. And Evie Duzema with a tool shot kill for Michigan State.
You know, we talked about the power that she brings to the court. Let's watch this again. A nice long runway, swings high, doesn't avoid the block, goes after the block, tools it out of bounds.
Duzema hitting .307 through Michigan State's first 11 games. 118 kills coming in for the senior from nearby Grand Rapids. Allison Jacobs is having an All-American start to her 6th season of college volleyball. 4 at Michigan, 2 at UCLA. And the ball pummeled into the net. Point Michigan State.
Absolutely love this tip. Take a look at the gentle shot placed over the net right there on the line. Hard decision for the Michigan defensive player to make there. It results in a kill for Karolina Stanishevska.
Stanishevska, yes.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
From Warsaw, Poland. Yes, she is a junior outside hitter. Having a good season for Michigan State, who are now up 2 points here early in this first set. 3 straight for the Spartans, and this is Kai Clayton serving.
And Carolina, I will do you right. I'm going to get that last name down, I promise you.
Well, she'll give you plenty of time to practice because she has over 100 kills already this season as well. Service error there for Kai Clayton. Both of these teams humbled in their first Big Ten Conference game of the season. Michigan lost on the road to number 1 Nebraska. There's really no shame in that. And Michigan State lost on the road to number 12 Minnesota in straight sets. Schneider with the bump set. This is Malaya Long. Wide pass. Free ball for Michigan, and Lydia Johnson from the back row misses long. Point Michigan State.
I do like how Michigan is setting various players front row, back court. That time a little long on that back row attack, but you've got to have a diversified offense in every single rotation pattern in order to beat your opponent. So Michigan trying to work out that back row attack.
Allison Jacobs off the block, point Michigan.
You know, Chris, she was Big Ten Player of the Week earlier on in September, and it was the first time in her career that she was named Big Ten Player of the Year of the Week, which is incredible to me because she's such a great player and has been the leader for this Michigan team for years now.
She sure has, and she was a first-team All-Big Ten honoree for her body of work last season, but picked up her first weekly honor of her career earlier this year. You mentioned on an All-American caliber pace at 4.2 kills per set and third in the Big Ten in total kills coming in. For Michigan State, this is Cam Berger serving. And she serves Jacobs, who's an excellent passer in serve-receive. And Serena Niambio, the senior middle blocker, one of the co-captains for Michigan, with the kill.
As she brings the heat. Take a look at this slide, the speed, and let's see where that ball is being set from. Beautifully placed there by the setter, Morgan Burke. Nicely done by Michigan.
Michigan's libero, two-year starter at that position, Maddie Cochran, gets us going, and that's an attack error for Michigan State. No touch. Cochran serving to give Michigan the lead. Long with a back set, and the slide attack really didn't work to Brecken Scheck, and the point for Michigan.
No, it wasn't a bad attempt here. You want to spread the offense pin to pin, so I like what setter for Michigan State is doing right now, but you got to be able to execute. The balls that are just gently tapped into the block, got to be able to play those and cover.
Cochran on a bit of a run at the service line, and Bianca Mumchalar puts it away, back corner for Michigan State.
Love that cross-court shot by Mumchalar, right deep in that left back area of the court. Let's take a look, an impressive 6'3" outside hitter, able to just split that area there between the middle back and left back defensive players.
Some impressive freshmen coming into the Michigan State program. One of them, a redshirt freshman, just served long there for Michigan State, the setter Malaya Long. And while we're on the topic of setters, Audrey, here's Michigan's setter Morgan Burke serving as part of a 5-1 offense for Michigan for the first time this season tonight.
Yeah, she's an experienced 5-1 setter, but the interesting thing for this Michigan team is they haven't really practiced this year with her running the show. She also, because she's a little undersized, brings a smaller block to that right side. So the defense is going to be tested a little bit when she gets to that front row.
That was an overpass. Cochran with a great dig, but another overpass is put away by Karolina Staniszewska. Erin Virtue in her third season. Her Michigan Wolverines receiving votes in the top 25, but to put a final bow on the 5-1, 6-2 discussion, the decision to go to a 5-1 offense, injury related, and it was unexpected, the injury news for Ellie White, the second setter for Michigan.
Right now, Berg is connecting really well with Lydia Johnson, the right side attacker. Like how Lydia Johnson's going high off the blocker's hands, hitting deep. Really talented right side attacker for the Wolverines.
Long with the set to Staniszewska, and it's a point for Michigan. Attack error, Michigan State. That was something that they wanted to clean up from the Minnesota match. A little too high error.
Yeah, they had 29 errors in total, 21 hitting and 8 service errors. So here you see another attack error by the left side. And yeah, Kristen Kelsey wants to clean that up tonight.
Good block by Jenna Haynes in the middle for Michigan. Staniszewska, a tapper, dug by Burke. Cochran swings it over to Jacobs. Rise and fire. And point Michigan State, no touch.
Well, the score is indicating exactly what I had expected here in the first set. It's going to be just really close here. Both teams try to get into a rhythm and settle down, but all tied up here in the first 10 apiece.
Already 7 ties in the first set. Burke tees up Jacobs, and she did not find hands again. Point Michigan State, so a couple attack errors for Jacobs now.
Well, Jacobs is going up against Duzema, and that is a really formidable block on Michigan State side of the net. Duzma's 6'4", and so, Jacobs was trying to hit some shots here.
Yeah.
And she's getting a lot of passing reps here in serve receive, so she's got a really busy job tonight.
And Duzma, remember, was a middle blocker for Michigan State last year, so she has experience across the front row. Staniszewska tools the block for Michigan State.
Staniszewska does a really good job of tooling off the block, and that's what she brings to this court. A lot of shots, a lot of experience. She's a junior, and she is from Poland, so she's got some international flair to her.
And a bad pass from Cochran. Michigan State on a 4-0 run now to stretch the lead out to 3 after we were tied at 10. Momentum at a premium in this. It is 14-10, Michigan State over Michigan. Out of the timeout. Audrey Flaw, Chris Foster, it's great to be with you. Great atmosphere here inside Breslin Center. And Michigan State on a 5-0 scoring run right now. Leah Schneider with the serve. This is Johnson on the right side for Michigan, and she puts it away off the block. Much needed point for the Wolverines.
Yeah, right now there's a ton of service pressure coming from Michigan State. They got on a nice little stretch of points there. And what's happening is the setter, Morgan Burke for Michigan, is pulled off the net. There's no middle attack options, and they're banking on getting a good block on the outside attackers.
Here's a point in the middle for Michigan State's Carmen Way.
Well, you got to love it when you can work in a middle attack and you get some points. As you mentioned, that was Carmen Way in the middle, just doing a really good job of making herself available, power tipping that ball down for a point.
Way working her way into the rotation for Michigan State. She had 7 kills against Minnesota on Thursday. Johnson tries to find the donut. Mumchalar the dig. Now Long on the slide to Way. And that's a point for Michigan State. 2 for 2 for the sophomore middle blocker.
Well, the point was really set up with a weaker attack from the Wolverines, easily controlled by the backcourt. And then you have all kinds of options when you're in system. The slide attack is working nicely for Carmen Way.
Clayton serves for Michigan State. Here's Johnson down the line, and it's shanked by Schneider. Point Michigan. Couple quick kills for Johnson in succession.
Well, I love it when Johnson and Jacobs are up in the front row together. It takes a little bit of pressure off Jacobs to perform flawlessly because you got Johnson there that's going to get her share of kills tonight.
Spartans trying to maintain this 5-point edge against Michigan. A 7-2 extended run for the Spartans. Jacobs was calling for it, but Michigan runs the slide with Niambio. Mumchalar into the teeth of the Michigan block. Niambio tries to dunk. On the free ball, Niambio with the block, but Michigan State with enough of a press to win the point.
Well, there's been a lot of battles at the net, and many of them are going Michigan State's way. They're just pressing, they're being aggressive, and you really don't want to have the ball linger on the net. Your ball control has to kind of shovel that ball back away from the net if you're scrambling. So it's all Spartans at the net.
Staniszewska with the serve for Michigan State. Long tries to chuck it front row inside the 10-foot line, and she read the defense well.
Yeah, Jacobs right now is being targeted by Michigan State. She's getting a lot of action in serve receive. She's going to be busy tonight. It's just the first set, and I think she's gotten over half of the serve receive balls coming her way.
Largest lead for Michigan State of the match. Jacobs clobbered off the block. Jacobs off the block again. Great backup by Demetrician. Third try, Jacobs pushed line. What a dig, Staniszewska. Swatted over by Clayton from the back row. Demetrician dug by Staniszewska. Looking like a DS back there. And Mumchalar puts it home.
Wow, I love the defense by the Sparty team.
Michigan State alum looking for her first Big Ten win as her alma mater's head coach. Karolina Staniszewska has given Michigan State a boost all over the court in the first set. No answer for Niambio there for Michigan.
Yeah, I think that's really important for the Wolverines to be able to spread that offense out. They were relying a lot on Jacobs when Michigan State went in that run, and this is a great attack. The slide attack for Niambio is money for Michigan, but they have to pass well enough to be able to run her in the offense.
Allison Jacobs with this bomb of a serve, and it was a good one, but Mumchalar with a heck of a pass. Way on the line. Point Michigan State. Michigan continued to play it, but it was ruled down.
Yeah, that's really a difficult shot, especially because it's placed directly over top of the block.
Ace serve. Cam Berger, not easy to do that on Allison Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacobs again just being targeted in every single area of the court. They're going after her, trying to wear her down, and that ball is beautifully served outside of the right angle of her body.
Niambio blocked, but a point Michigan. It's out of bounds.
Well, right now, Niambio has been money on that slide. She has to carry her load offensively. Obviously, tonight is going to be a tough night for Jacobs, not in terms of her performance, but she is getting pressured a lot, so she has to sustain a high level of play in every aspect of the game, not just offensively.
Service error there for Michigan, and when you become a first-team All-Big Ten player, you're top of the list on everyone's scouting report. You can't hide from anybody anymore. Malaya Long was on the roster at Marquette. She redshirted, and this is her first season playing, and she aces up Michigan again.
That's a great serve by the setter, Long, and she just, again, is going hard right into the pocket of Jacobs and is not fearing anything. Right now, they're in the driver's seat, up by 10.
They sure are, with 4 aces in this set, hitting .440. Long trying to take Michigan State home. Burke sets Jacobs from the back row. Trixie McMillan, Burke, Jacobs offers up a free ball. What a dig by Cochran. Free ball, Michigan State. Duzema puts it away, and Michigan State puts Michigan away in the first set. Conference games. We'll see how Michigan responds. Michigan State looked awfully good in that first set. Their side-out percentage, very impressive. They allowed Michigan consecutive points only once in the set. And Bianca Mumchalar will serve with Michigan State, picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, when we talked to Kristen Kelsey, she said, we are a good serving team. We have to serve off the charts tonight. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Everything coming up green and white right now. Brecken Sheck stuffs the overpass home. Mumchalar still serving. Jacobs for Cochran. This is Ella Demetrician, dug by Mumchalar. Long sends it to Staniszewska. Wonderful versatility in her array of shots.
Yeah, I'm just so impressed with the transition game of Michigan State right now. Michigan not getting really good dynamic swings on the ball, so they're able to ball handle it very well. And then those shots are just being varied on that left pin, so really difficult right now for Michigan to find a point.
On the service game for Michigan State, giving Michigan a real headache right now. Burke, the setter, had to flip it over, and a point for Michigan State because she was a back row player playing it at the front row of the net.
Right, yeah, Morgan Burke, she couldn't do anything with the ball. She tried to save it and bring it back to her side of the net, but when the ball travels over to the net and they block it, that's a back row attack. So she did her best to try to bring it back into her court and wasn't successful.
That serve eats up Demetrician. She gets it back. Staniszewska off the block. 5-0 Michigan State in the second.
Well, Coach Kelsey, I'm sure, is right now very impressed with the defense. Take a look at this. Great one-handed stab and then just finishing.
Coach under Kathy George who she considers a mentor and now taking over her alma mater, class of 2014, over 3,000 assists in her career as the Michigan State setter. Watching her Spartans handle arch rival Michigan through one set plus. And that is 9 straight points for Michigan State now going back to the end of the first set.
Yeah, this is, it's been quite the run for Michigan State. Duzma's doing a great job on that right pin to get these soft blocks, controlled blocks, and her team is able to transition out of that. So just a really interesting first and second set so far.
Point Michigan there on the swing by Lydia Johnson.
Well, when you talk about a highlight on the Michigan team, it's all Lydia Johnson right now. She is just focused and doing her job, getting her share of kills from that right pin.
Demetrician serves to try and get Michigan on a run from behind the service line, but Duzma off the block, and it lands on Michigan's side of the net. Point Sparty.
Duzma just showing her leadership. Again, the senior on the floor and is able to get swings for points, blocks for points. Let's take a look at this again. What a great set by Long. On her knees, going high off the blocker's hands there with the swing and getting a point.
Leah Schneider with the serve. She almost aces up her counterpart, Maddie Cochran. And out of bounds, point Michigan.
And again, it's Lydia Johnson with that right side attack. She has been just so solid tonight. Numbers are looking good for Johnson so far.
Yeah, closing in on 100 kills for the season. She played just 5 games last year. Staniszewska, cross-court kill and a beauty. She's got 7.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite plays in volleyball. It's a B and then a go over top. So when you're in system, take a look at how the middle and the left side hitters are really close to one another. And then it goes right over top of 22, over that middle hitter, out to the outside. So the block really has to focus on 2 hitters instead of just 1.
Staniszewska has hit under 200 in her last 2 games, but she has been on fire in this match against Michigan. What a take by Clayton, and it's put away.
Clayton
starts with defense.
Oh, absolutely. Clayton was outstanding. The speed. She was back deep on defense. Reads the tip. Look at that effort there. And big celebration. You got to love it when a DS comes in and really saves the day. Look at that. Everybody in her face. Loving it.
Way with the kill, and look at the discrepancy in hit percentage right now. That's outside the antenna. Point Michigan State.
And Clayton goes back and gets an ace. That's amazing. That's exactly what you want when you insert someone in the lineup. Go and get us some points. Clayton doing that for the Sparties.
That's Clayton's 4th straight game with an ace for Michigan State. Burke sets Niambio, and that's down for a Michigan point.
Well, you can see what Michigan is capable of when the pass goes up to the setter, Burke. When you've got those options, it makes the game look really easy. And again, we've said it, so I don't want to overstate it, but the passing game for Michigan has got to get a little bit better.
Johnson serves Staniszewska. Way, a runner, dug by Cochran. Burke, the back pass to Johnson. A low push, Michigan lucky to get it back. Schneider, Staniszewska on the run, dug by Johnson, dumped over by Burke. Heady play by Burke, the senior from Omaha.
Yeah, when you're a front row setter, you have to be offensive, and Burke undersized at about 5'10", 5'11", but here she has this sixth sense of where the blocker's going. She sees the left side blocker leaving for the middle attack, the slide attack, and she can go ahead and dump that ball.
Way down the line. Wide, point Michigan.
I do want to note that for Michigan, number 11, Amalia Simmons is in. I feel like they needed to make a blocking change as the right side for Michigan State was really overpowering the left side blocker for the Wolverines. So number 11, Simmons for the Wolverines is in the front row right now.
Great observation. Nearly an ace serve for Michigan. And Michigan ready to block that flip by Staniszewska. And, you know, it feels like Michigan State has been dominating this match.
Yeah.
Wolverines quietly go on a 4-0 run. It's still very early. It was an assistant coach at Northwestern as well. Quite a 3-game start to Big Ten play for the first-year head coach for Michigan State. Cochran tees up Simmons off the bench and into the net. Point Michigan State, unforced error for the Wolverines.
Well, that was Simmons' first swing at a system play, and that ball got caught behind her, a little awkward approach. Difficult to execute that one.
Stanishevska has been brilliant for Michigan State. She's behind the line now. She has 12 aces on the season. That was more off speed. And a big block rising to the occasion for Michigan State to deny Demetrician. That was way in the middle for the Spartans. Successful challenge for Michigan, and Molly Simmons serves for the Wolverines. Way blocked, and the Wolverines very much in this second set.
Yeah, I feel like when the offense evolves slower, it's easier, obviously, for the blocking team to get a point. That time it was a back quick, but it really evolved kind of slowly, and it really gave an advantage to Niambio with the block.
Long sets Mumchalar, and that's airmailed. Michigan State thought there was a touch. The point ruled to Michigan, and Kristen Kelsey might ask for a challenge now. I don't think so. We're going to play on. Simmons serves again with Michigan on a 7-1 run. Mumchalar. Dug by Demetrician. Niambio. Dug by Clayton. Long flips it to Stanishevska. Cochran is underneath it. Now Demetrician. High carom off the block, and it lands out of bounds. Point Wolverines.
And that was really close. They called it out, but they were a little uncertain, and when it actually landed out, they were like a little bit of a sigh of relief here. They're all calling it out, out, out. Watch their expression. They're like, oh, okay, we were right. Thank goodness.
Tight to the net. Point Michigan State. Looked like Michigan was going to have an overpass chance there.
Yeah, you really have to take care of those balls. Your server got you in a position to score at the net with an easy overpass. You really can't let those easy points kind of slide away from you.
Now Berger serves for Michigan State, the junior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, already with an ace tonight. Burke on the slide, Niambio stuffed. Mumchalar and check.
Well, that is a good-looking block. You're going to see just the movement here and lining up really well. Look at that reach back into the middle of the court. That's just a really clutch move. You're up, and then you're going to read the angle of the attack and cover that space along the net.
Michigan State at just under 2.5 blocks per set. A lot of activity at the net here. Simmons from the back row, but the play blown dead. Point Michigan State back row attack on Simmons.
Yeah, she crossed the line, and so that play was dead as soon as she approached and went past that line. It was an immediate point for Michigan State.
Unforced errors have hurt Michigan in this match.
You know, when you talk about unforced errors, both coaches, when they talked to us, said, you know, this is something that we have to clean up. After the first match in Big Ten play, they realized, boy, they really put themselves in a bad situation with the number of errors that they committed without a lot of pressure from the other team. For the Spartans, it was 29 errors, and for the Wolverines, I think it was 23. So you got to clean it up. You can't score points for the other team.
Simmons with the dig on Mumchalar, but it rainbows out of bounds by the Michigan State bench. 15-11 Michigan State. You
know, the thing that impresses me about Mumchalar is she came to Michigan State about 2 or 3 weeks into the preseason, so she really is just starting to get into the rhythm of play here, and she's been doing a really good job tonight.
A decorated international player with the Turkish youth national team from the U16 to U21 level. There she is with the swing, touched by Simmons, who could not handle it. Point Michigan State.
Simmons is on the court, and we'll see how she does when she is given the set.
Demetrician clobbers the ball for Michigan. Rising sophomore Ella Demetrician with 4 games of 10-plus kills already this season.
Well, that's a great rhythm, great tempo. Location was perfect. Burke delivering a perfect set to Demetrician for her to just bury that ball on that left pin.
Burke serves. Duzema blocked. Schneider underneath it. Long back to Duzema. And the point for Michigan.
Well, you see Duzema in rotation 1. She's the right side attacker in this lineup for serve receive. She's staying on that left pin. So coach has a lot of confidence in her ability to just be very versatile. So she's not just a right side attacker. She can attack from all areas of the court.
That's an ace serve for Michigan, getting their attack going from behind the service line.
And we always talk about the importance of the serve pass game. Well, you're seeing it demonstrated here in the first 2 sets of this match. Right now, it's all Michigan from that service line getting easy and quick points.
Burke out of the prep powerhouse Scott Catholic in Omaha, part of 4 state championship teams in her high school career. Here she is with the set. And Johnson goes cross court, point Michigan.
So I feel like rotation 1, which is the rotation that Michigan State is in, is probably the most difficult rotation to get out of. And right now we'll see that they haven't really adjusted. Oh, they stacked left side. So watch Duzema going to the right. But you can't do much when there's serves like that coming over the net. You're getting aced, and those are, easy points there again. Wolverines getting it done from that service line. And hope for something good. And what I like especially is that she's serving deep. She's catching the serve receive pattern up high, and so those are really difficult. So she's not getting aces, but she's pulling the setter off the net with her serve.
Duzema running a slide attack that time. We've seen her on the left side, we've seen her on the right side. She's on the right side now, but capable of running a slide. Really versatile attacker, and Michigan State loses that point, and Burke continues to roll.
Yeah, Duzema's attack was nicely blocked. It was a control block by Michigan, and then you see here a one-on-one situation. And I really like Lydia Johnson. She is carrying a load for her team on that right pin, getting a really big point.
Michigan, after grabbing its first lead of the set, now takes advantage of the Mumchalar attack error, and it is 7 straight for Morgan Burke and the Wolverines.
And they are still in rotation 1, trying to find an answer here.
A good pass from Staniszewska. Mumchalar, high Karam off the block. Simmons, Johnson, Demetrician misfires.
No, and that's where, it was a broken play. Demetrician just flying into the middle of the court, trying to get a swing on that ball. That's one where you want to take someone out on the other side of the net in terms of just placing your shot somewhere and then blocking and digging for a point. So she was forcing a more aggressive attack and really didn't pay off on that play.
Johnson blocked. Simmons with the up. Demetrician. Mumchalar the dig. That's a pass from the middle blocker, Schreck. She gets it back after Duzema was blocked. Over to Staniszewska. That was a high pass, and she put it away, no problem.
You gotta love the defensive effort on the Spartan side of the net, not letting any ball hit the ground. And then look at this set. Perfect all the way to the pin, and then just a nice rip down the line. That was a big-time play. Michigan State's got to feel good about that one.
Nearly an overpass, you bet it is. Staniszewska clobbers it. Johnson back to center court, and it's a point for Michigan State. Wolverines run out of touches.
Oh, this is a wild second set. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, the defensive gets and kind of the sloppy plays, but again, it's just been a real interesting match so far from the service line.
Burke sets Jenna Haynes. Mumchalar on the overpass. Haynes missed it wide. Point Michigan State.
Well, that's a real momentum killer for Michigan. When you have an overpass like this, you've got to take control of it. And you want to hit an angle, but boy, you got a lot of open space there in the right back area of the court. Find it and get the kill.
Johnson off the block, point Michigan.
Consistently good on the right side. She is keeping Michigan in this match with her swings. Other people have got to get involved. They've got to not only be able to set the right side for a kill.
Duzema kept up by Cochran. Over to Johnson, looking for her 10th kill of the night. Schreck is blocked in the middle. Long settles underneath it. Finds the pin hitter, Stanishevska. She's turned away. Simmons, Haynes, the stuff block.
It's a great looking block there from Michigan. And, you know, just look at how much they celebrate this. Triple block on the outside. All three Michigan players just not letting that ball cross the net. And it was 11 Simmons that actually made hand-to-ball contact on that block.
Service error there. I didn't mean to leave Lydia Johnson off the triple block. That was imposing. Aaron Virtue looking on. Michigan has made this very entertaining here in the second set. Spartans serving with the lead still. Simmons, cross-court kill. Buried in the back row.
Well, that's a great shot by Simmons. You know, probably wasn't expecting to get a lot of playing time tonight. I mean, she has played, but, you know, she's rising to the occasion, just destroys that hit cross court. What a shot.
Just one set played against Nebraska, and Molly Simmons finds herself in a big role here against Michigan State. Spartans with the point there. They hang on to the lead.
And look who's back to serve. Clayton. She had a nice run in set one, and her defensive plays really were great for Michigan State to rally off a couple points there. So we'll see if she's able to do that again from the end line.
2 aces in the match already for Clayton. Long dumps it over. Cochran and Burke keep it going. Way puts it away. No pun intended.
I'll take a look at this. Good, quick attack and finding a way to score here. Go right back to the middle, high off the blocker's hands. Again, when you feel like you got hands in front of you, you got to hit high off of them, and that's exactly what the middle attacker for Michigan did.
Clayton with the service error. Michigan down 1, 23-22. And Lydia Johnson serving in a big moment right now. Johnson with 9 kills to lead the Wolverines. Serving to tie late in the second. Long, Stanishevska blocked out of bounds. Point Michigan State.
Well, we do want to mention the blocking matchup here. Burke is in the front row, and head coach Aaron Virtue said, you know, that's not something that we practiced a lot. So we can see that Michigan State is really setting the ball over top of Burke as she is finding herself in a 5-1 tonight.
For the first time this season, Michigan running a 5-1. Stanishevska nearly with an ace serve to put the set away, and it's over now. Demetrition misses out the back row. Michigan State's Karolina Stanishevska with 10 kills, ready to begin the third set. Demetrition tools the block, and still alive, and a free ball for Michigan. Amazing Michigan State was able to extend that point. And then the block from Way, and Mumchillard gets Sparty living right.
Wow, that was a great save defensively in the earlier part. Take a look at that. Yes, good defensive play there. And then let's take a look at this block. One-on-one, boom, straight down. Bianca Mumchillard has done a good job when she's one-on-one with the attacker. She seals that net beautifully.
Serve receive was a problem for Michigan in their loss to Nebraska as Demetrition smokes that one down the line. And it's going to be addressed next week in practice as well, as Michigan State has almost served Michigan off the floor so far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it, and again, my comment was, can they sustain that service pressure that'll help them along to get the third set?
Over to Simmons, and that's out. Point Michigan State.
You know, I wanted to compare the left side attackers on both sides of the net. For Michigan, in sets 1 and 2, they got a total of 9 kills. For Michigan State, 9 kills. For Michigan, it was 4 kills. And we really thought that this game would come down to the left side hitters. And when we thought about it, we thought Michigan had the advantage in terms of left side attackers. Well, we're fooled because Michigan State's left side attackers have been unstoppable tonight. 9 kills in just the first 2 sets.
Molly Simmons has been an active player of the Michigan offense since the early stages of the second set. Allison Jacobs hitting negative in the game. And Simmons on the floor trying to jumpstart the Michigan offense. She had the last kill for Michigan to tie us up at 2 in the third. And Cochran over to Simmons. That's out, and a point for Michigan State.
Well, you just wonder how long of a leash is Erin Virtue, head coach for Michigan, going to give the outside hitter Amalia Simmons if she continues to make errors. You know, do you put maybe your third option on that left pin? Do you put Jacobs back in? We'll see how it all plays out.
Almost an ace from Malaya Long. Johnson, a crafty play on the right side for Michigan. Point Wolverines.
Well, Johnson has found that sweet spot right over top of the block. We talked about how the right side blocker for Michigan State will have to come and curl under the block. And you have the libero, both people going hard after the ball, but perfectly placed by Johnson.
Johnson's been the bright spot of Michigan's offense tonight. Wolverines are hitting 118, but Johnson is hitting 318. And Michigan just unable to sustain momentum behind the service line, a quick side out.
Yeah, and I want to point out that was rotation 1 that Michigan State got caught up in set 2, and bled a lot of points in that rotation. They got out of it with a nice clean swing.
That's a great observation, and Mumchalar caught Michigan in a tough serving rotation, and the Wolverines are able to get out of it quickly as well. So both teams tightening the screws in serve receive. Nyambio
dancing around that block as she almost got touched with that ball coming down. She has great feet. We saw it displayed there as she was dodging the ball as she landed.
Out of Detroit Country Day, we've alternated the last 8 points, and that's going to continue as Simmons with the service error. 25-14, 25-22. Michigan State wins both the opening sets. Leah Schneider with the serve. Burke all the way over to Ella Demetrician, who destroys the ball for the Michigan point.
Love the speed of that set. Again, Burke is inside the 10-foot line. Great hands and great push on this play. Take a look at the block. Not quite there. Lots of cross court to hit into, and yeah, she's got a hammer for an arm.
It's a very fast Michigan offense when they're running right and in tempo. Carly Graskovics, the junior from Manhattan Beach, California, off the bench to serve. And she'll serve again. You know, Michigan State was going to try and exploit Morgan Burke on the right side block for Michigan, and she was up to the challenge there.
I feel like this set is a little bit low, dying right there, and you can see how low along the net that the point of attack is. So even though you have a shorter blocker on the other side, you've got to go over top and hit down the line when that's available to you.
Long to the pin. Burke to the left side. Demetrician winds up. It's kept alive by Mumchalar. Here's Staniszewska, and she puts it down.
So impressed by Staniszewska. Again, she got blocked earlier, comes right back and gets a big-time swing. Look at her transition, her footwork, and then just delays on that, sees where the block is, thumb down, cross court, right between those two defensive players there. That's a great shot.
Kai Clayton serves. She has been a problem for basically every team she's served against this season, Michigan included. Demetrician smokes it and bringing a little bit of juice to the Wolverines.
I mean, when you have a left side that can do that, it was not a great play. We call this bettering the ball. The pass was not great. The set was a little under set, but Demetrician gets her feet to the ball and just rips that ball cross court right on the sideline.
Burke with the serve for Michigan. Slide attack, way, cross court, and a point for Michigan. It was wide, out of bounds.
And the slide to Way is a little bit slow in my opinion, and they're going to have to try to speed that up. I'm sure Long and Way are going to try and work that out as the season goes on to speed up that attack.
Point Michigan State. Staniszewska goes line. And Michigan is asking head coach Aaron Virtue to challenge, and Virtue obliges her players.
The linesperson called it out. The up official called it in.
Michigan is challenging that the ball was out.
I'll tell you what, that look that we just saw, I thought it looked in. This is more or less the angle that the up official had.
After review,
This is the shot I was talking about, going down the line over top of the block.
And the call stands. Maybe even confirmed.
Yeah, the up official actually made the call overruling the linesperson, and he made the right call.
He sure did. Staniszewska serves for Michigan State. She serves Simmons. Demetrician. Michigan trying to ride the hot hand. Back to her. Kept alive by Staniszewska. Excellent back row outside. Mumshalar denied. Long for Way, a tapper. Johnson swings away. Kept alive by Staniszewska. Clayton back to the net. And Jason Bamus with a joust for Michigan off the bench. Burke keeps it going. Demetrician, it's dug. Nearly booted. Back row Staniszewska. That's out. Point Michigan.
Staniszewska was trying to go for just that deep half-speed shot. It was the best rally of the night. The defensive effort on both sides is so impressive. Take a look at the joust at the net. Back row attack here. You knew what she was going for and just sailed it wide.
Ball crossed the net 11 times on that point. Here's Johnson. Dug by Staniszewska. And Mumshalar drops it in the well.
Let's talk about Staniszewska in the backcourt. Love that dig. Ball's outside of her body, and she manages to make one heck of a dig there. And then look at this tip right over top of the block again. Confusion. Is the block going to drop and play it? Is the backcourt person going to play it? So you can't place it any better than that on the tip.
Staniszewska, in her sophomore season at Michigan State last year, was really more of a back row passer than outside hitter. She has transitioned much more into a six rotation player now for Michigan State, but that skill set really plays in the back row.
Yeah, I think in this league, if you are you can jump well. If you're undersized, you can play defense, pass. I mean, you are a value on the front part of the court as well. So as long as you can manage your errors and be aggressive, if you got some shots, you can be an undersized outside hitter and do very well.
A grad senior, Jason Bamus, with the swing and the kill, just her third of the season, right there in the middle. The Hawaii transfer, as Aaron Virtue just trying to find any kind of combination to keep Michigan alive in this match. Long throws it up to Mumshalar. She's blocked. Right back to her. And she swings through the block for the Michigan State point.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Long, the freshman setter for Michigan State. You know, she's just doing her job. She's consistent. She's putting that ball, hittable balls up, just laying it up there nice and high for her big outside hitters to take rips on. So I'm impressed with the redshirt freshman, again, the transfer from Marquette.
Third of the Big Ten in assists, averaging 10.6 assists per set coming in. That's Long. Point Michigan State, and Long will serve again for the Spartans. "27 assists for the Michigan State setter tonight. She serves Simmons, who has been served almost every time. And Some chaos in the front row. Michigan runs out of touches.
Yeah, Burke just undersetting that ball to the middle. And, you know, I'm just thinking from my experience as a setter, if you're Burke, you know, you got a new left side out there. You really have to be the person that's controlling the environment out on the court. This is not an easy task for Burke. She's used to Jacobs being out there, and she's used to this offense flowing a little bit better. This is not the night that Michigan's going to look back and say, we were great offensively. Burke has to settle her hitters down, has to talk to her passers, has to be the leader out on the floor.
Johnson with the serve. Mumchalar on the right side. Point Michigan State.
And again, that is rotation one. They got out of that very quickly. That was the one that caused a lot of points in set 2 for Michigan. And this time, setting that right side to Mumchalar has been money twice in that in rotation 1.
She serves. 10 kills for Mumchalar. 2 Spartans in double-digit kills along with Staniszewska. That was Duzema who puts it home.
Michigan sending a free ball, so Michigan State in system. The ball was actually passed a little tight, long with her back to the net. She slays one up, and Duzema just does her job, scoring from that right pin, hard cross court.
Back row, Demetrician. And her foot was on the line. That's a back row attack. Going for Michigan State on a 3-0 run and trying to pull away here in the third set and take the match. Simmons is served. Niambio is set, and nearly a collision right off the 10-foot line. Michigan State avoids disaster there.
Yeah, you know, you talk about a collision. There really should be one person that's aggressively going after the ball. It never hurts to have 2 people, but there is something about, hey, this is my area of the court. I can go after it hard without worrying about knocking heads with another player. Yeah. So I really feel like the bro should be taking that ball. She's going hard after it. Let her take it.
Long throws it all the way over to Staniszewska. Here's Niambio. And nearly out of play. And a point for Michigan.
So as I see it, I feel like these tips should be converted on Michigan State's side of the net. They should be able to identify the tip, elbow drops, palm is under the ball, identify, call it, play it, transition, and get a point.
Here's Molly Simmons serving. She serves Schneider, and it's an ace. Second ace of the season for the redshirt junior Molly Simmons.
This is a nice aggressive serve going deep. And in between the 2 passers, Snyder was obviously committing to it, but there's a lot of space that she's blocking. And I feel like we will see some undersized outside in this league, and all of them seem to just have the eye of the tiger, which I love in players.
A broken play. Demetrician is blocked by Duzema, 1v1. And she puts it down in the back row and has the final word.
Yeah, after Demetrician gets a kill, you can see, like, she is just on fire. She is not happy with the way her team is playing, and she wants to do everything she can to try to control this third set.
You know, in spite of everything that's gone wrong for Michigan, if they can find a way to win this third set, it's game on for the match. Kreskovics with the dig. And Demetrician down the line.
The sophomore shows experience there by not trying to rip the ball, but seeing the area of the court that's available. Demetrician goes down the line, 3/4 speed shot, perfectly placed.
80 kills now on the season for Demetrician. Staniszewska off the block. McMillan for Burke. Over to Demetrician, the hot hand right now for the Wolverines. This is Duzema. Dug by Kreskovics. Cross court. Demetrician demolished.
Yeah, well, Erin Virtue has got to love the fight that she sees in her outside Demetrician right now. Every ball that goes to her seems to be a winning shot. They're a hard cross-court shot. Unable to handle it was the libero for Michigan State. That was Leah Snyder.
wobbly serve from Greskovics. And Way is dug by Greskovics, who's given Michigan a defensive spark off the bench. Long sets Way. Nothing Michigan can do about that.
Nice middle attack there. I love when middles go and hit angles. Take a look at this approach, and you're going to see one block in front of her and rips it right back. That's a great shot.
Way's got 8 kills in the middle for Michigan State, and Clayton back to serve. Demetrician calls her own number and puts it into the net.
Well, you can see how difficult it is. She had to pass the ball, get outside, get in rhythm with her approach, and just the ball was underset slightly.
It's the year-by-year results. So nothing will be settled tonight for control of the banner because there's another meeting later this season in Ann Arbor, and we still might have a long way to go tonight, Audrey, as Bamus puts it home.
Yeah, that was a great entry there. Substitution by Aaron Virtue, and Bamus just running this slide attack. And again, I don't know that Michigan State has scouted all of the players that they're seeing tonight, because they were banking on the starters, the regular starters, playing the entirety of the match. But you've got to be prepped, and you've got to be able to adjust. We'll see how Michigan State does with adjusting with a new middle for Michigan.
Oh, that was a spectacular point. Plays made on both sides. Cochran with an unbelievable dig, but Way puts it away. There we go again for the Michigan State point.
A nice slide here. You're going to see a little bit of space right over top of the block. Way goes hard. She jumps well, and she's celebrating with her setter. That's always good when middles and setters are in rhythm with one another.
Way missed the first 2 weeks of the season for Michigan State. Didn't make her season debut until the Binghamton game. I beg your pardon, the Kennesaw State game. There we go. But better late than never. And Michigan State into the red zone now with Stanishevska serving. Here is Johnson. Michigan State trying to take advantage of a free ball. Mungchalar, what an effort by Simmons to keep it alive. Demetrician, dug by Stanishevska. Mungchalar, point Michigan State.
Bianca Mungchalar, remember that name, a freshman here for the Spartans, and boy, she is ripping the ball. What a great effort there by Simmons for Michigan. And here's the game, or the rally winner there with a nice cross-court shot. Again, lots to celebrate. Michigan State feeling hot.
Michigan State, though, trending in that direction. Bamus. This is a player who had just 2 sets of action coming into this game. Now has 3 kills. She had 2 kills all season coming into tonight. Yeah,
Virtue going to her bench, just trying to find the answer right now, like what number 15 is doing for Michigan out of the middle.
I haven't seen Allison Jacobs, Michigan's leading point scorer, since the second set. There was a touch. Point Michigan State. Remember, Michigan has lost its challenge. They would get one back if we go to 5 sets. Long way to go, though. Here's Simmons. Mungchalar blocked out of bounds, and Mungchalar is carrying Michigan State to the brink of a sweep.
And a beautiful out-of-system set from the backcourt. Beautifully placed. Mungchalar able to execute a nice, strong attack out of an out-of-system set.
Last gasp effort. Service error, and Michigan State into the red zone. Michigan now down 3. Cochran ready to go. Student section behind her. Michigan State.
In system, under pressure, Michigan State looking really good tonight.
Away along the serve.
Well, when you need a kill, you're going to go to Demetrician. The ball was taking the setter Burke off the court. She lays one up. Demetrician doing what her team needs, and that is just providing stability, getting kills.
Lydia Johnson tries to extend the match. Finishes the sweep for the Spartans. Her 15th kill puts Michigan away.
This was a great match for Michigan State, and I'm really happy for Kristen Kelsey, the head coach for Michigan.